Okay, so in this video we will focus on Telnet. So I want to enable the Telnet. We know to access a switch or a router, to access the switch or a router, there's three methods. Either we will use a console cable to connect to a switch or a router, or we can use the SSH, or we can use the Telnet. Okay, so now I want to configure this switch and send it to a remote location. We are going to send this to a remote location, and this switch should be enabled as a telnet. Okay, so we know now there's three methods after I'm accessing a switch with a console cable. For example, the first method, how I will access the switch, I will access using a console cable. Then after accessing a switch with a console cable, I have three navigation mode. Okay, three primary navigation mode. In the iOS navigation mode, we have the user mode, we have privilege or enable mode, and we have the global configuration mode. So the access method, we have three access methods, how to access a switch or a router with one of these methods. Then after accessing to the switch, there is three modes in each of them. Okay, so now I will focus on the telnet, how to set up and configure a telnet feature on a switch. Okay, so first, to enable the telnet, initially we have to configure the intermediary network device, which is the switch or a router. We call them intermediary network device. First, I have to set up an enable password. Okay, an enable mode password. So I have to set up a password. If somebody want to access the privilege mode, one of the requirement to enable or to configure a telnet, initially we have to put a password for the privilege mode. Then we have to put an IP address. So this is the basic two steps, okay, before we start with the telnet. So before I start configuring a telnet, I have to do like pre-configuration, which is the enable password and the IP address. So now I connect with the console cable before I'm sending this to a remote location. يعني قبل لا نرسل هذا الجهاز إلى مكان ثاني بعيد لازم أول شيء نعمل له configuration. Okay, so this is my terminal. So initially what we have to do, we have to set up an enable password. So I go enable. So now I'm in the enable mode. Now I want to set up a password for the enable mode. So I have to go to the global configuration mode, configure terminal. Then from in here I have to go what? I have to go enable password 123. So this is my password 123. So now I did set up a password for the enable mode. So if I go exit, then exit once again, now I'm in the user mode. Now I'm in the user mode because I can see the greater than sign in here. So if I go enable, then I hit enter, it will ask me for what? It will ask me for a password. Okay, so this is one of the prerequisite يعني الإعدادات المتطلبة قبل إعدادات التلنت. يعني قبل لا نروح نفعل التلنت يحتاج ويش؟ يحتاج إني أعمل هذه الخطوتين وبعدها أبدي أشتغل أو على التلنت. واضح؟ So now I did configure a password for the enable mode. The second requirement, the pre-requirement, to set up an IP address with a subnet mask. Okay, now because I'm sending this to a remote location, and this location, the remote location يعني المكان البعيد يستخدموا scope مع IP addressing بهالطريقة. So we call it IP addressing scheme. في الريموت لوكيشن كذا يستخدمون. Okay, عندهم DHCP server and they want this switch to be enabled with telnet. So I will use this IP addresses. So to set up an IP address for a switch, I have to go to sub configuration mode, which is the interface configuration mode. So I will go to the global configuration. هذه الخطوة الأولى في global configuration. الخطوة الثانية بعدين نروح وين؟ I should go to the sub configuration mode, which is the interface. So I will go to interface, interface, VLAN 1, then enter. Now I'm in the sub global configuration, which is the interface. Now I can set up my IP address. So this is how I set up an IP address for a switch. To set up an IP address for the switch, we have to go to the sub configuration. واضح? Then my IP address 192.168.10.10 I believe. 10.10 then space 255.255.255.0 enter. Then I go no shut for no shutdown. Okay, no shutdown على اساس the switch will go state to up. We enable the port. Okay, so now before I configure a telnet I have to set up enable password. We done this. Now we configured an IP address with the subnet mask to a switch. Now I have to save my configuration. بعد ما عملنا كل هذه configurations we have to save my configuration. So I go exit, then I go exit once again. Then now I'm in the enable mode. I have to save my configuration. So I go copy running configuration الإعدادات اللي حاليا عملناها the current running information. وين أخزنهم؟ في startup configuration. So I'm gonna save them in a different memory. Okay, this memory we like a storage or non-volatile RAM. Then I go enter. I saved my changes. So now I did the prerequisite or the yes we call it the prerequisite configuration. يعني قبل لا أعمل التلنت configuration، قبل لا أوصل هنا أبدي بالإعدادات هذه، قبل لا نعمل الإعدادات مال التلنت لازم نعمل إعدادات مسبقة اللي هي الانيبل باسورد مع الاي بي. زين، الحين خلصناهم. الحين ببدأ في إعدادات التلنت. كيف أنا أعمل تلنت حق السويتش؟ I will enable my telnet. Okay. So I go again here. So I go to the global configuration mode, configure terminal. Then after configure terminal, sorry. Now I did access the configure terminal. I have to go to the VTY line, which is the virtual line, the telnet. Okay, so I go line, then VTY from 0 to 4. That's mean 5 users. 5 users from 0 all the way to 4. 5 users. Then I hit on enter. So now I'm trying to configure a telnet. Before, this is a prerequisite. We have to do this one and this one. Then we start with the telnet. Right? So now I'm in the sub global configuration mode, which is the line. I have to set up a password because this is for remote access. So for security, we have to set up a password. Again, 123. Then this should be required at login. So I type login. That's it. So by now my switch is ready. Again, I will go to save my changes because we did configure the VTY. We did the VTY thing in here. Okay, the telnet. So I have to save the configuration again. So running configuration to startup configuration. So now it has been saved successfully. Okay. Now the next step is to verify the connectivity. So this switch is ready for telnet. I will take it all the way to the remote location. Okay. Now I will connect from a switch to a server. This is a crossover cable. Sorry, this is a straight. Okay. Then from in here we will go crossover, or we can use the auto connection. So this will automatically choose a connection type. واضح? So I will go fast forward نسرع الوقت to build up my spanning tree. Okay, so by now this is my DHCP server. هذا يوزع اي بيات. So اروح اشوف هنا كم عطى اي بي ادرس. 192.168.10.100 نفس السكوب هذا. هنا I will take another IP address requesting an IP address. So this is my IP address. Okay, now I want to access this switch using a telnet. So this is the real moment. هذه يعني الخطوة الحقيقية. Okay, so I will open this switch. See, there's no console cable. الحين ما موجود console cable هنا. This is a network cable. The twisted shielded unshielded pair and the shielded twisted pair. So the UTP and STP wires here هم هذيلا. There is no console cable. Then now I will access this switch. Okay, so I will not open the terminal. We open the terminal when we have a console cable. Now I will open the command prompt. Then I will go telnet space the IP address that we configure for this switch. كم عطينا IP حل هذا السويتش؟ عطينا 192.168.10.10. Then I hit on enter. So the port is open. Then user access verification. They want to verify my identity. So احنا حطينا two password. المرة الأولى حطيناها للenable mode والمرة الثانية حطيناها للtelnet. I will use the telnet password which is 123. Enter. Here we go. أنا الحين في أي مود؟ الحين I already access the switch and now I'm in the user mode. So I will go to the enable mode. It asks me for a password. هذه password تختلف. Password هذه اللي هي enable password which is 123. hit on enter. خلاص دخلني على السويتش. Okay, so now I did access the switch with a telnet. Okay, I did access a switch with a telnet. So we achieved the point. This is how we enable. This is how we enable the access method. We have the access method of a telnet. So again we have to do pre-configuration هذه الخطوتين. بعدين I configure the telnet as we did in this video. Thank you so much. See you soon.